Jere Hawn announced his candidacy for Washington State's 42nd District Representative seat held by Kelly Linville. He did that on February 4th. Jere is a resident of Blaine. He got his BA and MBA from Western Washington University, and he joins us today on Northwest Notebook. So the simple question is, Jere, why did you decide to run?
I don't think the constituent groups in Washington are getting what they're paid for in tax dollars. Our budget's growing and we're not getting our money's worth.
Would you like to see more business people involved in government? You own your own consulting firm, for instance. And isn't government kind of like a business?
Government is a business. They're providing services, they're providing products to our constituent groups throughout the state, especially in Whatcom County, and we're paying for it through our tax dollars.
Why do you feel like you're qualified to be state representative? What have you done? What's your resume like?
My resume, I finished up at Western back in political science years ago. I joined the Navy, worked for senior leaders. I was on the battleship Iowa. I ran that main deck for 2 years. Worked in many crisis situations being GQOD. Then I left the Navy and worked for the governor of Wyoming running his state quality award, which time I went off and volunteered for the national quality award called the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, run from the Department of Commerce out of Washington, D.C. We go out and evaluate world-class organizations. A very competitive volunteer process. They take 100 out of 4,000 to 8,000 applicants. I was selected, went in and evaluated world-class organizations. I ran the governor of Wyoming's state quality award for a number of years, and then I came back home, worked with Current Industries as quality manager, and Western came down and heard what I was doing and invited me to come up and teach, and they hired me full time.
You know, change seems to be the word change. Everybody says the word change right now on TV, every political candidate, no matter what office they're running for. Is it really a change campaign, both nationally, locally, state?
It's going to be change, but it's leadership. It's change and leadership. Getting out and providing a focus back to the customer, saying, what is it that you need? How can we do this more efficiently?
When you go out and you've talked to people, do you find that the voters, the electorate, is just fed up?
Very much so. I was at a gathering just yesterday, and people were standing up saying, my property taxes are going up. What can we do to bring them back down? They've doubled. This one individual, actually, it was more than doubled here in just the last year. So he went from $3,000 to almost $7,000 a year on his property, and he's on a fixed income. He's retired. Where do you get a 100% increase in property taxes to pay for things that could be done a lot more efficiently here in the state?
What would you in particular do about that?
They have the metrics for, and I once call it there's a current law on the books where state agencies should apply for the state quality award and get in and doing a self-evaluation, which is ongoing. A number of agencies are doing it. Current government is putting in this. I saw a bill, what was it, yesterday or the day before? They're exempting organizations. So it's an example of putting your money in a bank and saying, I want everybody to give me the balance on my bank accounts that I have with you. And now the legislature's coming in and saying, well, this bank doesn't, I need to put money in this bank, but they don't have to tell me how they're spending it. They don't have to put up measures. And they're going through the process of exempting organizations, delaying organizations from coming up with metrics and self-evaluations, which is totally unacceptable.
Besides the tax issue, what are the big issues you think that confront the 42nd District?
Right now, it's one of the big ones is water. Doug Erickson's pushing through a septic initiative, which is extremely important, trying to get the regulations a little bit more customer focused. There's labor, and there's right now the border's coming up. But the big thing is we are getting taxed and taxed and taxed to send down to Olympia, and we're not getting a lot of that back in the 42nd District.
Why do you think that is?
There's major projects down there. My opponent has moved into an appropriations position that isn't focused on Whatcom County anymore. She's looking at larger projects. She's looking at projects down in King, Thurston, Pierce County. to where money can go there. The 42nd District isn't getting what they've paid for, and what they've elected isn't providing the leadership or the return.
So you've announced your candidacy. What can we expect from your campaign up until the election?
Excitement and a hard-charging campaign. We're going to go out and meet people, let them know who I am, let them know my qualifications, and we're going to have a good time at it. It's not going to be a strong arm. It's not going to be, this is my platform. I'm going down to Olympia with the message from the 42nd constituent group.
Would you consider your campaign really a grassroots campaign, retail?
It's going to have to be grassroots. Get the support of the people. Those are the ones that vote.
Jere Hawn, candidate for Washington State's 42nd District Representative seat. Thanks for being a guest on Northwest Notebook.
And thank you, Ty.
We'll be right back.